As promised, here's the way the code would have been finished if we had had an extra 5 or 10 minutes to finish off this quite sophisticated code in class. Red alert, red alert, red alert. This is not required. You are not required to be able to write or even understand to quite this level of sophistication this code. But at this point, for demonstrating these three relationships, I think that it did make sense to try to do it all in one big group of code. So just remember, the reason that we're doing all this is for the relationships. The is-a, uses, and has-a relationships. And I'll get back to that at the end of the video. But in terms of the code, what did we have? We had one check account, one checking account called check account A. And what is a checking account? It's an array list of checkbooks. So there we go, 4 checkbooks, C through C3. And what is a checkbook? A checkbook is an array of checks. And each check, what is a check? Each check simply has a check number. So it wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense to loop through all of these and come up with an average check number. So the only thing I could think of which made sense is maybe to find the highest check number, for example. So this is how you do that. And again, second time for saying this, you don't have to be able to follow this. To try to follow this, go for it. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not actually the level of our course. And to repeat, this is, understanding generally this is, but the code is not. So anyway, this loops through the array list of checkbooks. And each time we make a local variable, which is an array, the array attribute that that particular checkbook has. And then with that checks array, we loop through it, and we look at each check number in turn, and we're checking it against a max check number, which I initialized here outside of the loop. And every time that we find a check number that is greater than the max check number, well, that means that the max check number is that particular check number. And at the end of it, we're going to have an actual max check number. So I'll run this to show you that it does work. Watch this pop up. It works. So it works, and this is the way that the code looks. But again, just to end here, the part that you should be able to be following at this stage is that we have these superclasses. And superclasses can have subclasses. And that type of is-a relationship is an example of object-oriented programming inheritance. We also have the uses relationship where one class is dependent upon others. And what we did fresh today was that some of these template classes are actually made up of or aggregate instances of other classes. And that can even go more than one level, as we did. So this is just a bonus video. This is just to show you what we would have finished if we had had time. It's not part of the course, though understanding the stuff that I just talked about eventually should be. But that's it for now. So have a good long weekend.